Раз, два, три.
Я боюсь, у меня очень это. Dear ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, distinguished guests, delegates, everyone present, hello, good afternoon. We're pleased to welcome you today on this Kazenergy Forum. Everyone, please take a seat. We're going to proceed with our panel session. So it is my utmost and sincere pleasure to present today's panel participants, and I'll begin in order of their presentations. So it's Timur Zhantikin, the Deputy Chairman of Kazakhstan's newly established nuclear agency. Mr. Li Hua, Deputy Chairman of IAEA, International Atomic Energy Agency as well. Mr. Marat Tulibayev, Chief Financial Officer and First Deputy Chairman at National Atomic Company Kazatomprom. Ms. Mao Yawei, Director General of Chinese National Overseas Corporation, and Deputy Director General of Kazakhstan Nuclear Power Plants. The topic of today's agenda is nuclear power, progress and security. As you well may know, Kazakhstan is soon going to join the countries that are going to develop their own nuclear program. That is really important. Right now we're witnessing the signs of a second nuclear renaissance. Those who are experienced and wise enough claim that it's actually the third nuclear renaissance. Nonetheless, it's becoming more important every day, and it's really now is the time that we all get together and we're going to discuss all these crucial issues associated with development of our industry. So first, I'd like to give the floor to Mr. Timur Zhantikin with his brief presentation on the matter. Thank you.
Спасибо.
Thank you so much, distinguished colleagues. Let me first of all welcome all the guests, participants of this forum, the presence of international participants and academia and these experts give special significance to this forum. This forum is conducted every year with the support of the government of the Republic of Kazakhstan that confirms the continuous attention and focus of the government to the sustainable development of this industry. This year's forum has the topic New Energy Order, focus on middle powers. And this topic is gaining more significance and more an important role is played by the states with diversified economy and the developing economy sector. Their active involvement contributes to the strengthening of energy security and the promotion and advancement of sustainable development at the global arena. Today's session is about nuclear energy progress and security, and it's becoming even more relevant in the context of the global challenges and the need for the reliable energy supply. And here nuclear energy is considered as one of the balanced and reliable energy sources and tools for these achievements of these goals. It includes high efficiency, stable supplies and minimum carbon emissions that makes it an important factor for global energy balance. Kazakhstan has a special position in the global nuclear agenda. Our country is the largest uranium producer and reliable partner on international arena. We meet global demands in this important raw material, but we also establish and build the policy related to the establishment of our own nuclear infrastructure. And important priority for us is security matters, adherence to international standards and development of relations with leading international organizations and states. All this is important for us. For more than 30 years, Kazakhstan of IAEA. Kazakhstan strengthened the atom and participates and implements all efforts aimed at ensuring the security and safety. Kazakhstan is among countries whose policy and confirms the adherence to peaceful use of nuclear energy. Our country closed semi-piloting test fields and initiated the International Global Day against nuclear tests. This transformed the country into the global leader in terms of the non-proliferation and the peaceful use of nuclear energy. Today, Kazakhstan unlocks a new chapter in its development and its history. An important step for Kazakhstan was the first national referendum about the construction of the nuclear power plant. The support of population was the witnessing and the sign that it was a correct decision. Kazakhstan has a special location in the global nuclear security goals, achievements. We have initiatives that demonstrate unique initiative and unique trust from the IAEA that contributes to ensuring the stability in the world. The development of nuclear energy and infrastructure is important for many sectors like healthcare. Thanks to the cooperation with IAEA, Kazakhstan develops the production of pharmaceutical products that are used for the treatment of oncological diseases, not only here in Kazakhstan, but also for the citizens of other countries. Researches and innovations are also very important. National Center in Kazakhstan became an international laboratory for the development of the future technologies. Here we have historical tokamak reactors that are used for the fusion, for the tests related to the use of the fusion reactors. We understand also the importance and significance of the human capital, and we train and educate the specialists of new generation, and we also participate and contribute to the international exchange of experience and knowledge. And our country is ready to share its experience and in order to help to train specialists from other states, especially those countries that are just at the beginning of their journey. And we consider nuclear energy as an integral part of our history and life. And we believe that it should contribute to the development and ensuring the security, and also should contribute to the development. And I believe that today's discussion will help us to discuss the challenges and to find the solutions and to develop the agenda that will be used as the basis for the implementation of new technologies starting from the training and education of the specialists and human resources up to the implementation of green technologies and green solutions. We believe that nuclear energy will be a solid foundation for energy safety and security and for ensuring the well-being of future generations. Thank you so much for your attention.
Gentikin. Commitment to non-proliferation principles and overall our commitment to development of peaceful use of atomic energy is no secret. So I think now is the time that we receive the support from all stakeholders involved. And coming to this, I'd like to give the floor to Mr. Li Hua to deliver his speech. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Excellency. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to join you today at an important Energy Week. I thank our hosting Kazakhstan for their leadership in convening this timely dialogue. As the global energy transition accelerates, nuclear energy is once again taking central stage. Across the world, governments are striving to secure clean, reliable, and affordable energy. Nuclear power, with its ability to provide stable, low-carbon baseload energy, is proving to be indispensable to achieve these goals. Kazakhstan is uniquely placed in this global nuclear landscape, as it holds the world's largest uranium reserves and contributes over 40% of global uranium supply. Through the application of innovative in-situ recovery, ISR mining technique, Kazakhstan has become a global leader in safe and environmentally responsible uranium production. But Kazakhstan's nuclear journey does not stop at mining. The country is now taking steps to introduce nuclear power as part of its national energy mix. This transition is driven by the need of diversified energy resources, reduce dependence on fossil fuels, enhance energy security, and achieve carbon neutrality by 2060. The IEA has been a steadfast partner in this journey. Since its initial integrated nuclear infrastructure review in 2016, Kazakhstan has made significant progress in developing the foundation elements of the nuclear power program. The follow-up in-year mission in 2023 confirmed that the key recommendations, such as financing, radioactive waste management, emergency planning, etc., have been fully addressed. Building on this momentum, Kazakhstan has launched a series of national projects with IAEA support to strengthen its nuclear infrastructures. These projects are designed to align with the IAEA milestone approach, guiding countries through the safe and informed introduction of nuclear power. Kazakhstan has now entered phase 2 of this approach. This marks a new chapter in Kazakhstan's nuclear development, one that requires coordinated planning, robust infrastructure, and continued international cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, the IEA assistance to countries embarking on nuclear power program spanned multiple dimensions. First, a legal and regulatory framework is required. Kazakhstan is working with IAEA to assess and update its legal instruments to ensure align with international standards, such as GSR Part 1, is a global safety requirement for government, legal, and regulatory framework, and the Convention on Nuclear Safety. These include gap analysis, legislative drafting, and expert missions. Second is regulatory capacity building is essential. The IEA is helping Kazakhstan strengthen its regulatory body and the technical support organizations. Through training, advisory service, and specialized tools, Kazakhstan is now building the institutional capacity needs to oversee nuclear power safely and effectively. Third, human resources development is a key element. The IEA supports Kazakhstan in developing staffing plan and the training program for key institutions. By 2028, over 100 professionals are expected to be trained in nuclear field competencies, ensuring a skilled workforce for future. Fourth, industry involvement needs to be incorporated. A national strategy for industry participation is being developed with IAEA guidelines. These will define localization goals, qualification requirements, and engagement framework for domestic suppliers. Number 5, site selection and safety design are vital for next step. The IAEA is providing technical assistance in siting evaluation, environmental monitoring, and safety design. Missions such as site selection and occupation radiation protection are helping Kazakhstan ensure that the future energy nuclear power plant meets the highest safety standards. Number 6, financial planning and feasibility require support. Kazakhstan is working with IAEA to develop financial models and funding estimates for nuclear infrastructure. These include workshops on project financing and economic model using IAEA tools. Last but not least, stakeholder engagement and public communication is essential. The IAEA is supporting Kazakhstan in crafting public information strategies and stakeholder program plans. These efforts are vital for building public trust and ensuring transparency. Kazakhstan nuclear power program is a model of how international cooperation, scientific rigor, and strategic planning can coverage to address global energy and climate change. This country's commitment to sustainability, safety, and innovation positions it has a regional leader in peaceful nuclear development. Ladies and gentlemen, every nuclear power plant must be built upon robust foundation of nuclear safety, security, and safeguard. The IAEA supports Kazakhstan in aligning its national framework with international standards, from site selection, construction, operation, to waste management and decommissioning. The agency is also assisting with advanced approaches to remediation and safety closure of ISR minings, ensuring the environmental management accompanies economic development. No country can succeed in this journey alone. Kazakhstan is already working in partnership with other countries in uranium mining. The IAEA added another layer through initiatives such as IAEA SMR platform and the Nuclear Harmonization and Standardization Initiative. The IAEA helped member states navigate technology option, regulatory challenge, and financing pathways. For Kazakhstan, this international linkage ensures that its nuclear power program developed in line with the highest global standards, while also contributing knowledge and experience back to the international communities. The IAEA, through its technical cooperation program, will continue to support Kazakhstan with technical guidance, capacity building, and knowledge exchange. Together, we are not only secure the country's energy future, but also contribute to the global energy security, advancing climate action, and ensuring that nuclear energy continue to serve human peaceful, safely, and sustainably. I look forward to discussion ahead and to deepening our shared commitment to nuclear program and security. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Liu. I had several questions prepared for you, but most of them were answered by your speech. Nonetheless, we thank you for your continued and unwavering support. And going forward, I just hope that our cooperation is only going to expand and flourish. But you briefly touched on the prominent role our country holds in the supply of natural uranium. And I think it would be fair to say that if nuclear fuel itself is viewed as an air, then its key component, natural uranium, is the oxygen and our country is responsible for 40% of primary output of natural uranium. And I give floor to Mr. Marat Tulibayev, who's going to speak on behalf of Kazatomprom. Thank you.
Thank you, Dastan. Dear distinguished guests, colleagues, friends, I'm honored to be here today, and I'm pleased to share how Kazatomprom views its role in this rapidly changing landscape, energy landscape. For Kazatomprom, it's never been just about holding the title of the world's largest uranium producer. What really matters to us is the principle of value over volume. Our top priority is efficiency, responsibility, and sustainable growth. Today, leading analysts agree that by the middle of the next decade, the world will face the structural deficit of uranium. Kazatomprom has been preparing for this moment. For many years, we supported the nuclear industry during the era of low prices, ensuring that energy security was maintained across the globe. We must also acknowledge the reality. Years of low prices have meant fewer investments in new mines. According to the IAEA and OECD Red Book, most of the lowest cost resources are largely depleted. The era of cheap uranium is over. To keep the market stable, the industry must now focus on sustainable development of uranium mining. This outlook, together with Kazakhstan's national plans to build nuclear power plants, has defined our strategic course for the next decade. Our priorities are clear: responsible use of and replenishment of resource base, vertical and horizontal diversification of our business, strengthening our trading function, and continued improvement of ECG standards and business practices. Kazakhstan and Kazatomprom in particular have never pursued geopolitical ambitions. Our mission was always been to remain a reliable and predictable partner, and our track record proves this. Since our foundation in 1997, we have ensured consistent and responsible supply to the global market. Today, we proudly cooperate with international leaders through 12 joint ventures. And in 2025, we reached a historic milestone. Uranium production from Kazakhstan deposits has exceeded 1 billion pounds of uranium. Global demand for uranium is rapidly growing, and Kazakhstan is ready to meet this challenge by strengthening and expanding cooperation across all stages of the nuclear fuel cycle. Our trusted allies remain the world's leading nuclear energy players. Today, Kazakhstan stands as a reliable hub of the global uranium industry and one of the key suppliers of natural uranium to the world. Kazatomprom stands ready to play its part in ensuring a secure, sustainable, and innovative future for nuclear energy. Together, we can turn today's challenge into opportunities for our companies, our countries, and for the global community. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marat. Nuclear industry itself is a very confined space, so everyone's really related to one another, and it's very difficult to move along if you're just by yourself. And I think this signifies the true spirit of partnership for everyone in the nuclear business is related to one another in any capacity, but either way. And I'm really pleased to welcome the next speaker, representative of the company that is actually in a league of its own, one of the fastest growing energy utilities in the world, and along with Rosatom, one of the two only fully vertically integrated nuclear giants, CNNC. Ms. Mao, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, friends, good afternoon. It's my great honor to join you in beautiful Astana for the Kazakhstan Energy Week and share CNNC's practices and perspectives on nuclear energy empowering a shared future of green, safe, and sustainable energy. I'm trying to. Okay. Okay, anyway. Rising energy demand and intensifying climate change bring severe challenges to global energy security and transition. As a clean and stable baseload energy source, nuclear energy is indispensable for building a green, safe, efficient, and sustainable energy system. It is now a global consensus that nuclear energy will undergo steady development. In the latest high-case projection, the IEA estimates that global installed nuclear capacity will reach about 1,000 gigawatts by 2050, nearly 2.6 times the level of 2024. So, okay. China regards nuclear energy as an important operation for ensuring energy security and achieving clean and low-carbon transition. The Chinese government has formulated and implemented policies to support the active, safe, and orderly development of nuclear energy. Since 2022, China has approved an average of 8 to 10 units every year. As of today, the Chinese mainland has 58 units in operation and 54 under construction or approved, with a total installed capacity of 125 gigawatts. China is firmly committed to balance nuclear power plants development and safety. Following the IAEA standards and mature international practices, China has gradually established a comprehensive system of nuclear regulations and standards, ensuring an exemplary record in both nuclear safety and security. By the end of last year, 38 commercial units had achieved the full max in final performance indicators, underscoring the safety and reliability of China's advanced nuclear power technology. As a major player in the national nuclear science and technology development, CNNC is dedicated to mapping the future landscape of nuclear energy and providing advanced energy solutions. Beyond the large Generation 3 reactors, we are also committed to development of Generation 4 technologies and the fusion reactors. As we speak, the world's first Generation 4 high-temperature gas-cooled reactor, HTGR, is already in commercial operation in Shandong Province at Shidao-1 nuclear power plant. China's HL3 tokamak facilities achieved a breakthrough with both the ion and electron temperature reach temperatures exceeding 100 million degrees for the first time. That's a significant step towards the engineering application of fusion technology. We also make steady headway in nuclear energy's applications, such as district heating, steam supply, and seawater desalination. The Jiangsu Xuwei nuclear energy heating power plant, approved in August last year, is the world's first large-scale integration of nuclear energy with a petrochemical park. Drawing on decades of experience in nuclear power development and a complete nuclear industry chain, CNNC is ready to share our best practices with international partners and offer comprehensive nuclear energy solutions. To accelerate the global energy transition, I would like to put forward 3 suggestions. Firstly, Countries should incorporate the development of nuclear energy into their national energy strategies and long-term development plans, raising the share of nuclear energy in their national energy mix. Secondly, the industry should encourage diversified and integrated applications of nuclear energy in the form of a nuclear plus model by exploring the application of nuclear plus industrial heat supply, seawater desalination, and hydrogen generation. We highlight its potential as a comprehensive energy solution beyond electricity generation. Thirdly, the global community should establish multilateral mechanisms to strengthen nuclear energy cooperation in technology and regulatory exchanges, capacities building, and standards alignment, so as to jointly address the challenges of climate change and the energy transition. As a global energy transition accelerator, the development of nuclear energy has become a global consensus. CNNC will continue to join hands with international partners to contribute nuclear energy towards building a community with a sustainable shared future for mankind. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Mao. Last year, actually, China surpassed France as the country with the second largest nuclear fleet, and with the current ambitious goals of increasing the nuclear capacity in China, we as the suppliers of natural uranium could not have been happier, and we just wish for you to prosper and continue doing this. And going to our next speaker, I hope soon enough this company is going to take its prominent role within the Kazakhstan's industry. Mr. Begbolson Istleov, Kazakhstan's nuclear power plant, please.
Thank you very much. Да, уважаемые коллеги, дорогие гости.
Distinguished colleagues, distinguished guests of the forum, let me welcome you to the forum. We are happy to welcome to this forum Kazanergy, which is the international platform for Kazakhstan, where we can discuss the key issues in the energy sector and challenges and form together the solutions for our sustainable future. I would like to take this advantage and congratulate our colleagues in Kazakhstan. The Nuclear Specialist Day was last Sunday, and now it attains quite a relevant component. And so my congratulations to you with your professional holiday. Let me say a few words about the general global trend of reviving the nuclear energy. Energy out of low-carbon sources, nuclear energy has always been on the global agenda for the last 10 to 20 years. We are now witnessing the era of the artificial intelligence development, smart robots, robotoxy, digitalization that is breaking through into our energy, into our households and the house of each one of us. And this will definitely require a big number of data centers, and as a result will require more energy that the global community cannot even imagine. All these and many other factors will bring the nuclear power back to the interest, not only for the governments, but also for the private companies engaged in the specified innovations of the future. As a result, nuclear power becomes not only the source of energy in the prospects of the future development, but also serves as the basis for the technological progress and global security. This session that we are having now is a strategic session on nuclear power, safety and security, is quite symbolic for this forum today because it reflects the growing role of the atomic component in the energy basket of Kazakhstan, and in fact shows the important milestone in the development of the energy sector in Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan has more than 70 years of history in nuclear, and we should mark the specific facilities in Kazakhstan that we had in Aktau city, which for more than 20 years brought electricity and heat supply and supplies of fresh water to the region. And this reactor also was important as a tactical practice of operation of fast reactors in the industrial use, which was quite useful and valuable for Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan has a very strong research-based national nuclear center, Institute of Nuclear Physics, which already operate some of the research reactors which are used for various experiments. We receive orders from various international sources, and the tests show the structural influence on the materials and infrastructure security. So we have a lot of experience. And our president stated in his address that nuclear power is one of the 4 pillars of the energy strategy and the basis for energy safety and security, not only for Kazakhstan, but for all other countries, and tasked the agency, the newly established agency, to do that work. And this was already mentioned by my colleagues, that this new agency, which I represent now, is the authorized body of the company that is missioned to implement the nuclear power plant construction and operation. What has been done so far? A lot was done since the agency was established and during its existence, and we are now contributing important efforts into this process. In June, as a result of the comprehensive evaluation, the leader of the consortium is assigned to be Rosatom, which has significant experience, and in August 2025, the committee started the field engineering research. And this is one of the key stages in the project implementation that would put the basis for the future construction and choice of the site. We heard during the president's address, he mentioned that we need to build another power plant, nuclear power plant, and now the committee is detailing the stages of implementation. We are facing quite a big volume of work to get all the permits, research, engineering, and design, and of course construction of the relevant auxiliary infrastructure facilities of the early stages and the power plant itself. For that, we will engage a lot of stakeholders inside the country, and starting from the governmental, institutional, and down to the construction industries, private companies, manufacturers of equipment, and of course the staff. The Nuclear Power Plant Committee will pay a lot of attention to the staffing. We will need to prepare to train the specialists, starting from stimulating the younger generation so that they become nuclear students, and we will need to get support to the students, and we will have such a program for their theoretical and practical training, and also training our practical and theoretical specialists with our partners. And we already mentioned who our partners are, so that, and we would like for our specialists to gain their practice and competences in the companies of our partners. Construction and operation of nuclear power plants will serve as the basis for the future development of the energy sector in the country, establishment of the national operator, and ensure the local content. Kazakh people will take this as practice, and we expect that a lot of servicing companies will start operating, and this will give impetus to the new dynamics for the secondary and tertiary levels in service and goods production and provision. And this will serve as the impulse for the innovations and technologies development. And what we will also gain is the more educated and more competent people, youth and young engineers who will definitely promote our industries, and with their innovations, with their ideas, and with their knowledge, they will incentivize our economy to move ahead to the new heights. I am more than certain that starting from this forum, the voice of the nuclear power in this forum of KazEnergy will have a very stronger voice and will take a relevant place in the energy sector of Kazakhstan.
Форуме недели энергетики Казанжи. Спасибо за ваше внимание.
Thank you very much, Mr. Istleov. Well,
Thank you so much for your attention.
proceed with the panel discussion now, for all the panelists delivered their speeches and presentations. And first question I'd like to address to you, Mr. Liu. You briefly touched on, and I guess this, without a doubt, the most important thing is the proper regulatory and legal framework in order to expedite and properly develop any nuclear program. Well, IAEA has been doing this for quite a while now, and the question I have is the following. What are the major obstacles and challenges that any given country that's willing to pursue to develop the nuclear power program? What are the major obstacles and challenges for any given country in terms of developing this program?
Thank you very much for this question. I think, for the newcomer countries, first, they may have, the common challenges, such as, the legal framework. If you have do you have a nuclear law? Do you, adopted the international, the safety standards? Or do you have, regulatory body? That, is the common, the challenge. But I think, the most important thing is the human resources capacity building. Kazakhstan has a 70 years, the nuclear development history. But I think, the one of the big challenges for the nuclear power, if you want to develop nuclear power, you still need a large number of, the human resources. Young engineers, operators, regulatory bodies, the supply chain, the manual, the mechanical, electricity, the electrical, engineers. So a large number of, the human resources, well-trained, and, the familiar with, the safety request, and also, have a good safety culture and the management framework is very important. So I think, based on this, IAEA can directly work with the government, with the industries, with the Agency of Atomic Energy to develop human resources. It's directly, train some people through the fellows, workshop, the training scientific visit, but I also encourage from the undergraduate education system. You should have, universities can train, the student from their first year of university studies. My experience in China, for the more than 40 years, China nuclear, the industry developed based on, that they have a large number of a population of getting, the well-training from the university stage. So like, our university, Tsinghua University, they continue to train. They never stop. Even, the China do not have a nuclear power program. They still have the, the nuclear engineer to be trained. in the universities. So I think, maybe Kazakhstan, the education system, you can consider short-term, the training by workshop, by, the seminar, can be, immediately, enhance your capability for some people with a technical background. But from the long term, education system from the universities, even from, the high schools, should be strengthened. I think that's one of the big challenge.
Thank you, Mr. Liu. That's an excellent observation, excellent and valuable input. But I have a following question then. Do you expect some valuable benefits on behalf of Kazakhstan where we can assist IAEA in terms of development of the nuclear industry worldwide? And if yes, what are the major benefits that you see coming from Kazakhstan, if possible?
Yeah, the international cooperation always benefit for the participants, for the both sides. So the IEA can, use international expertise to support Kazakhstan, from the beginning of the nuclear program based on our milestone approach and the international expertise. But also we can get benefit from your development. Your development can establish a good example for the other countries, especially in the Central Asia countries, how, the newcomer countries can cooperate with IEA, become, the strong and the reliable, and the competent, the developer of the nuclear and also the regulatory body. That's one side. You make a good example. In the other side, during the cooperation, we can share our experience. Your strategy, your, the site selection, your, cooperation with other partners, even the financing. I think, the finance, nuclear is always a big project. With, the financing is one of the big challenge. So I think, IEA now work with the World Bank to cooperate together to support member states. Maybe, the Kazakhstan can consider whether the regional or World Bank international financial institutions can work together. And the third, I think, we can benefit from Kazakhstan is that political commitment. I'm very deep impressed the president of your country and your, the government makes so strong commitment to use nuclear power, to use, the nuclear material, uranium mining, the whole nuclear fuel cycle, and decided to develop nuclear power. I think this commitment, they make, the good example, without this big commitment, I don't think, the country can work together for the faster and the peaceful use of nuclear power. So I think, that's, the benefit, and also I think IEA is an international organization. Our responsibility is to support member states, but we hope the member states among them can share the experience. So your example can have a good model for the international, newcomer countries. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Well, essentially that means that is a mutually beneficial process. The things that you just said, and essentially I view it in the sense that the better we learn from IAEA, the better input we can provide back. And well, let's hope that this is going to happen soon, and we're going to see a lot more Kazakhstani individuals within IAEA. My next question goes to Mr. Marat Tulibayev. How do you perceive Kazatomprom within the nuclear fuel cycle going on forward? Thank you.
Well, taking into account that today we talk a lot about building new nuclear power plants in Kazakhstan, I think it's the right time for Kazatomprom to expand its presence in nuclear fuel cycle, and We can do that through the partnership with strategic partners and through getting some advanced technologies, and financing from World Bank would be nice. And but of course, it should be accomplished with understanding that additional added value will be achieved for Kazatomprom in Kazakhstan. So, and of course, at the same time, Kazatomprom, we are going to stay as a reliable supplier of uranium around the world, as it is now.
Thank you. Thank you. My next question goes to Ms. Mao. I think that's going to be an easy one for you, for your title suggests being the Director General of China National Nuclear Corporation overseas.
Okay.
What are the major points of growth you see outside of China for CNNC going on forward?
Okay. Actually, it is a challenge question, I think, overseas to stay beyond China, because you know, I want to just clarify one mistake. Now China is maybe the first fleet in the world, because our total number is 122 units. Okay, okay. So because as everybody, my colleagues said today in this discussed, that nuclear maybe become the common consensus that that will be can fit to the challenge for the future, for the climate change, and also for the energy security, safety, a lot of issues for the energy use. For the overseas beyond China, I think there are three directions we need to focus on. The first is some countries that has, we call it a strategy return. That means some countries, they are nuclear developing countries, they have advanced nuclear, but sometimes because a lot of reasons, they don't use nuclear power plants. But recently they come back and they recurring and to use nuclear energies, like some Europe and America, United States, some countries. We call it a strategic return those places. And another direction, I think, is the breakthrough move countries. The breakthrough move countries because actually they need nuclear, but they don't have enough experiences of nuclear power plants, like Middle Eastern or some countries there. So the third direction, I think, is some countries, they are trying to using the diversified demand of energies. They think that maybe nuclear power plant can give them the more stable solutions to get some modifications for the energy structures change, like Kazakhstan. So that's our new directions for the overseas nuclear energies. And I want to say that at CNNC, we have over 70 years experiences, and we have start from a fresh new member by using the nuclear energies, and then right now maybe we have some the full industry chain supply, the new technologies, and even some advanced like the AI technologies for nuclear power plants. So we are try to sharing our experience to the entire world, the mankind. That's a future, because I think, in my opinion, that nuclear that is not issues for a single country. It's never not issues for only one country, something like that. So, yeah, that's a new the directions for the future. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mao, and I'd like to apologize for misleading the audience. When I said the country with the largest nuclear fleet, I meant US with 94 units built. But if we take into consideration those that are commissioned, under construction and everything, yes, China is second to none. This we have to acknowledge. My next question goes to you, Mr. Isleov. Your speech, to be honest, and unbiased, of course, was the one that I enjoyed the most, for it invokes numerous domestic benefits to my country, and we could have not been happier if going forward with this. So the construction of the nuclear power plant is like an industry of its own. The sheer capacity and scale of the project involves so much effort, man hours, financing, and everything that it's just gonna drag along numerous industries within the country. So when we talk in terms of localization, localizing the production, services, supplies, in your personal view, what are the most, like, the simplest, the easiest ways for business to actually go into this chain and start assisting in the construction of the nuclear power plant?
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, the question is with regard to the project. Kazakhstan, yes, that's true. We've got the first, our nuclear power plant. So we haven't been building it for some time, and from the time of our independence, that's for sure, we never built it. But we built different projects in Kazakhstan, and some of them were quite complex and quite resource demanding, I would just say, and competency demanding. And our companies were involved on construction of that big projects. Of course, we would be relying a lot on our partners in terms of the technology, in terms of what is involved on the core of the nuclear power plants. But otherwise, I guess we do have companies, some of the established companies, good companies, as I said, exposed to that big projects before. Okay, and I'm pretty sure they are going to take part and will be contributing to our development plans. I mean, there would be construction projects, contractors, there would be suppliers, there would be some service providers, I would just say. So all of them are going to take part as long as they are bringing the value, and as far as they are also doing the good job and of the high quality and fast learning, I would just say. Yeah.
So thank you very much for your answer. So basically, you confirmed the notion that this project is going to have a multiplicative effect on the overall industry within the country.
That's right. I mean, of course, certainly, it's going to. All nuclear power plant projects, what we are going to be executing, as I said in my speech, they are going to really bring the multiplicative effect, I would just say, spreading all over the industry, on small businesses, on middle businesses, on the big companies. And I'm pretty sure they are going to be learning a lot. They are going to be enhancing their competency levels, and they are going to be then start spreading their services to other parts as well.
Well, thank you, sir. That's an excellent news, and I hope everyone here within the audience is happy with this fact as well. If there are any other issues that panel members would like to discuss, please, we're happy. Otherwise, if not, I think it's time for us to wrap up. Would there be any suggestions from the panel to discuss anything further, or? Well, I hope we've briefly touched on the most important aspects of civil nuclear development here in Kazakhstan. Anyways, thank you very much to everyone for your attendance, and we hope to seeing more of these panels going on into the future. Thank you very much.